Good morning, my loves. Happy Sunday. It is a bright, beautiful morning here at the lake. The sun's up, the birds are singing. It's going to be a beautiful day. Really good topic today. This is a must watch, must share. If it doesn't affect you, it will affect somebody you know. It's that good. Blocked emotions can and will manifest as physical symptoms. You have a job, stressful life. You're having migraines, you're having stomach issues, you're having chest pain, your blood pressure's up, you can't sleep. Go to the doctor. Well, of course, they'll be more than happy to write you a prescription. That may or may not help, but you still need to get to the source of the problem. Okay. They run tests that come up negative. Don't know what to tell you. Many times they will say, why don't you go talk to Brenda? Just talk to her. People are saying, I'm not crazy. I'm not making it up. No, honey, you are not making it up. This is very, very real. What is happening to you, it's happening. It's real. I believe you. Your doctor believes you. It's just that he doesn't have the tools to fix this, and I do. Think about something that has happened in your life that is stressful, causing the problems. That's the root of the problem, is the stress. Well, you can't quit your job. You can't walk away from your family, although you probably thought about it at times. You have to get the tools to deal with it. And sometimes those tools are very simple. You have to work through the trauma. You have to learn to talk about what's going on. You need a safe place to vent. You need the tools to cope with what's going on, to better cope with what's going on. Because right now your coping skills kind of suck because you're having the symptoms. Let me give you a couple of examples, okay? Several years ago, oh gosh, this was like 21, I think. I was contacted by a mom who had a child that was an early teen. The child was very, very ill, horrific stomach issues, couldn't eat anything, loved school, couldn't even go to school. They were sick in bed all the time, seeing a doctor all the time. The test kept coming back negative. It sounded like Crohn's disease, which can be very, very painful, but the tests were coming up negative, so they were going to talk to me, see what I thought, and then the child was going to have exploratory surgery. That's a big surgery for a kiddo. Okay. I said, let me talk to him. Lovely, lovely child, but a very stoic family. They don't talk about emotions. Life happens. You suck it up. You deal with it. You move on. That is so common. But that's not exactly healthy. So I talked to the young man for probably an hour. In a 2-year time span, this sweet boy had lost one of his best friends. Well, actually 2 of his best friends. His grandpa died. Grandpa had been his best buddy from day one, and Grandpa passed. It happens. He lost his dog. His dog died. That was his other bestie. And then his Grandpa's wife, passed. And that devastated the child. Now, this is a stoic family. You know, they go to the services, they grieve, they say their prayers, and you move forward. There's nothing you can do about it. You move on. You need to grieve. This sweet little boy needed to grieve. And he was talking to me, you know, about all of this. And you could see that tears come up in his eyes. And he would, you know, I'm not going to cry. I'm okay. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. I need to talk to Mom and Dad. Is that okay with you? And he said, sure. I said, do you want to be there when I talk to Mom and Dad? And he said, oh, yeah. So Mom and Dad come in. And this was a FaceTime call because they were overseas. Okay. I know what the problem is. And I shared it with them. And they just kind of looked at me like, are you serious? I'm way serious. And then I asked Mom and Dad their relationship to Grandma and Grandpa. And they, tears came up in their eyes, and they're trying to, again, be stoic. I said, do you have any of their things? Well, they have them, and they're packed away in trunks, in the attic. I want you to go up there and take your son, and I want you to find one of Grandpa's shirts, something of Grandpa's that smells like his tobacco smoke. He was a pipe smoker. And the little boy started laughing and said, yeah, I remember this, and I remember Grandpa smelling like this and that. And, he had the biggest smile on his face. And then the parents started sharing a couple of stories. That's what they needed to do. I said, what do you have of Grandma's? Well, Mom still had her bottle of fragrance packed away. I said, just take it out. Just set it out. I said, okay. They thought I was full of hooey. They really thought I was full of hooey. I said, so your homework. I'm sending you a guided imagery, a meditation that I want the three of you to do, and you can do it together. And that's part one. But every evening, you can do it at dinner, after dinner, but I prefer during dinner. I want you to share stories of Grandma, Grandpa, and the dog. Good, bad, tearful, happy, don't care. Share the stories. And it starts now. You have to start right now with me watching. A little bit of silence, and then the little boy kind of got a smile. He goes, well, I remember, and he starts sharing a story about he and his dog getting into some mischief, and everybody was laughing about it. And then, the dad was telling a story about when he was little, and he had a dog, and Grandpa, the grandpa that died, his dad, and then did this and this and this. The stories started, and they were laughing, and there were some tears. And that's what they needed. I said, so just keep this up. We'll talk tomorrow. I got a call the next day. The little boy wasn't having tummy pain. Everybody's sleeping better. Everybody's a little happier. And it just kept progressing. So after a couple of weeks of doing this, the little boy was able to go back to school. He hadn't been back in school for almost a year and a half. He was back in school with his friends, and he was so happy. Things at home were happier. Blocked emotions can manifest as physical symptoms. Mom was so happy. She got the little boy another dog. He was thrilled, of course. So everything was okay. Love that. Blocked emotions can manifest as physical symptoms. Another incident that happened, this was before I moved to Arizona. This was back in, 2016? Some friends of mine reached out to me and said, Brenda, we got a problem. They, as a couple, were divorcing. They had been together since college. They didn't have to get married. They just thought it was the thing to do. They had a beautiful daughter. The daughter was a teen. I think she was like 16 at the time because she was getting ready to go to prom. Beautiful, lovely girl. And I know the family very well. And Dad had moved out, moved in with his girlfriend. The parents were very civil, very nice to each other, very supportive of each other. But they didn't talk about things. It's just Dad is moving out. And Dad moved out. And the daughter is, what's going on? Well, Dad just moved out. You'll still see him. He'll still be around. And Dad was great about taking his daughter to dinner a couple of times a week and doing things together, but they never talked about anything. The daughter started losing her hair. She's 16. Her hair started coming out in clumps. She's losing her eyelashes, her eyebrows. She's 16. This is huge. And they called me and they said, they're taking her to doctors. It's not allergies. They don't know what's going on. They knew I could figure it out. I said, yeah. You need to sit her down and be honest with her. Tell her the truth. Honestly, tell her what's going on. Tell her. You guys got married young. Maybe you got married for the wrong reasons. It happens. But you do love each other. You're just not in love with each other. And that's okay, but you both love her. You will always love her. You're always going to be mom and dad and support her. She needs to hear the truth, because this child may assume, because this is how kids are, that it's something that they did. That maybe if she had been a straight A student, she was a straight A student. Maybe if she had, been a better cheerleader, maybe she had done this or done that. Because kids will blame themselves for anything. Set her down and talk to her. And I'll be happy to work with her, but you have to be honest with her. He said, that's not going to be easy. I said, well, but she's worth it. It's not like she's 5. She's 16. She knows, and she needs to hear this. You don't want her making the same mistake when she's in college. Oh, no. Tell her, talk to her, explain to her. Let her learn from your mistakes. Okay. I heard back from them a few days later. They sat her down and they talked. Lots of tears. But it wasn't anger. It was, I wish you would have told me sooner. The girl was so sorry to hear about this happening and everything her parents had gone through and struggled with. And it was, why didn't you tell me? I knew something was wrong. I thought I did something wrong. And within, I don't know, it was, I want to say 2 months, she called me one day. She said, Miss Brenda, something's wrong. And I said, what? She goes, my face is itching. I said, okay, where's it itching? Her eyebrows were itchy. They were coming back in. I said, honey, go get a magnifying mirror. She goes to the bathroom, comes back. She goes, oh my God, I have hair. They're coming in. I said, they're coming in. So blocked emotions can manifest as physical symptoms. We all have gone through trauma. We all process it differently. Don't block it. Talk about it. It's so important to talk about it. You're not doing yourself any favors by shoving it down. You're not doing your family any favors by not letting them talk about things and grieve. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling, I promise. You have to face it. You have to work through it. And then everything will be okay. But you can't sit down and go through all of it in one day if it's a big trauma. It's like eating an elephant one bite at a time. Take it piece by piece. Do not be afraid to call a counselor, a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whomever. Maybe you're clergy. But find someone, find a safe space to vent and grieve. Feel whatever you're feeling, because honey, you're worthy.